Higher quality questions. Since we started this show, I've been asking myself new sets of questions, which is where I came up with the topic for this episode. One of the questions I asked myself is, am I living the content I'm giving, and am I practicing this content at my very best? Followed by, where can I make adjustments to be more effective in living what I'm teaching? And lastly, I asked myself, am I being overcritical of my current level of practice? Now, I'll start with the last question I asked myself. The reason being is that I've been practicing the art of living for a very long time, going on 15 years actually. And I often still ignorant and like I'm just getting started. I have breakthroughs, epiphanies, aha moments, and my favorite, how did I survive this long and I'm just now finding this out? Much of what I said is a backstory to give you an idea of what my own personal self-talk used to be like. And I tend to be overcritical of myself rather than being in a state of wonder and newness and really creating space for discovery. So what happens is, and this is specifically for me, and this is how I ask the question, is disempowering and not empowering, which is why I asked myself the last question first. Holding myself accountable, am I being too critical of myself? Am I being rigorously honest with myself, or am I being abusive? And if I am, why? Why am I doing this? Why am I saying this to myself? And I get an answer like, because that's what I'm good at, that's what I know, I enjoy it, something like that. Then I ask myself, where did this come from and who taught me that it was okay and acceptable to talk to myself that way? Now, I know where and who these things came from and why I do this. It's familiar, it's automatic, and quite frankly, it's lazy to allow this line of self-talk to persist. Because this is the default way of talking to myself. It requires little to no effort to berate and belittle myself. However, in one moment, I can catch it, I can work myself through it, and then I can begin to reword my questions or ask new questions to create a new and empowered way of being, and oftentimes have a breakthrough. Now, I want to take this time, I want to revisit the word familiar. And by now, I'm sure that you all are aware and know that I'm a word guy, and I like to choose my words carefully and with intent and purpose. The word familiar is synonymous with family and means well-known in close and long relationships. So what I'm driving at here is that you say what you say because you've heard it from a family member, a longtime friend, and you even have an intimate and close relationship with the words and phrases themselves. As I said in a previous video, that your words create worlds, and hopefully I've shed a little bit more light and clarity on that here, and you can see now why your own monologue or dialogue with self runs your life and isn't always the healthiest for you. So when you see yourself essentially running game on yourself, you can ask yourself, whose words are these and why do I say them to myself? If you feel that what you're saying is in alignment with the goals that you're trying to achieve for yourself and they move you forward, then by all means, keep them and keep them moving forward. If they get you stuck, then it's absolutely imperative that you look at it objectively and change it. You could even express gratitude for the phrases, saying something along the lines of like, thank you for getting me to this point, and I'm grateful for your service, and now I'm choosing to say something new. Now, this may seem like it requires a lot of time to do, but the reality is that it only takes a few seconds, and the more familiar you get with this process, the faster and more thorough you'll be able to complete it. The most challenging part is to catch it and not get hooked and pulled into the vacuum of the old self-talk. Your inner self-talk is yours and yours alone, and you can say whatever it is that you want to, and all you have to do is give yourself permission to change them, and then give yourself permission to say them. Give yourself some space and some time to practice, and don't expect to do it perfectly. Remember, practice makes perfect, but there's no such thing as perfect practice. For DMTV, I'm Tim McCann. Join me next Wednesday at 7:30 for The Shift. Make sure you like and subscribe so you never miss an episode.